think 5 CP is definitely very good.
Looks like we're alive here.
Yep.
Who are you? Which demo are you following this mid?
I'm gonna just overlook the entire mid for the time being. It looks like Cindy's gonna go straight. They're both gonna go catwalk actually. Both scouts, both demos on catwalk for both teams.
Similar time and damage too. Prem
Really
goes
early
down
dive,
very quickly.
Yeah, really early dive from Logic gonna go down there. Caddy's gonna follow with the sticky as well. We're gonna go pretty deep now, only having one casualty themselves, so that was a pretty good fight for them. Pretty good fight
Scout
for them
and
now.
are chasing too, but they might both go down.
I think yeah, they kind of, the scout, that was a really good kill by Scout. Who was that actually got a kill?
I think it was primed because
So
Fake's on 0 points.
so Soul killed Rain, I think, with Scattergun. That's what it says in console anyway. Yeah, they only managed to lose. I think Logic went a bit too deep too early in there. Just by looking at the speed at which he got taken down, that was really fast. They basically secured mid for Wu. Having that early one play advantage really secured the mid game for Wu. But now they're going into CP2.
They've actually got a spy.
Not having that, losing that soldier early, I think, is really makes it a lot more difficult. Is that who's the spy actually?
It's Rain. He's going to try and nullify this Uber, even Uber, and there it is. And Wu's going to look really good.
They should actually be quite conservative with the
passive.
Uber right now. Yeah, they should be considered with the Uber effect. I don't. It's a bit of a mistake from them to pop. Especially, I don't think Colin really took that much damage. Well, it's not entirely a mistake.
I think if they go
popped,
balls deep now, they're fine.
They got CP2 off it, and if they manage to get enough kills, the last point is open. See, that did actually end up working. The only reason I said they maybe should have gone a bit more conservative there is unless you can get like a really good Uber and kill a lot of players, maybe save it for the last point and just kind of pressure the other team with the Uber presence, even if you don't need to pop it. But I guess that worked out. He got zoned out.
A lot less damage out.
Yeah, he totally got zoned out there. I think Logic's now going to go for a bit of those. Looks actually team. Was that home or on Logic? They went in pretty deep. Either way, both of them went down pretty quickly. I think is this now standard that demos go on catwalk? It is slightly surprising to me that both demos have gone catwalk now twice rollouts. And you can tell, you can just very easily see the zoning capability that can happen, which is strange because Pez actually did faster, which is strange that he got zoned out.
So he just had heals and had confidence, and it worked out really well for him.
Uber advantage going into this last point now. Shouldn't be any delays, really. I mean, they should really capitalize on time. Don't give Brutalix any chance to get anything up and running. So
They've actually caught them before the heavies come out too. No buffs in the heavy.
losing the demo early is really that's going to hurt your push a lot, and you can see they're actually going to fall back now. I think if they perhaps committed to the push, I think I would have committed to the push. I mean, it's if you fall out, you're going to lose second anyway because Brutalix is going to have Uber now. But if you commit to the push, there's a chance that you make it. We're definitely not playing that Uber situation completely well. Losing demo early is a bit unfortunate as well.
Rain's gone spy once again, this time perhaps for a backup.
It's really good that they didn't lose second point. Very interesting that Brutalix didn't push. Really interesting that TS really didn't push with that Uber. They had the chance, they had the amount of players down, they really just needed to kind of go with that Uber. And I think second point, they probably would have gotten that. Rain's now been taken down. That's their go sign. That's their go sign. They're going to go straight onto their second point now. Logic's going to actually get taken down. That's going to hurt their push a little bit. second's not really going to get taken. So both teams now on equal Ubers. I think, you know, Truckstop kind of missed the opportunity to go, and now Cindy, we really want to go into this Uber. It's kind of spread though. Ubers are kind of all over the place at the moment. Homer's going to take down Cindy from behind and taken down himself by Fake. A lot of players on blue side going down though.
It almost doesn't matter what happens here as long as the red med stays alive. This fight's just really prolonged.
Yeah, very Brutalix's Uber on the left side, Blue's Uber from TS, didn't really meet the right players from Wu. I think Wu eventually had their Uber come out from above. I'm gonna follow Cindy on this rollout. I want to see if he goes top again. He actually slightly botches one jump, but
Pez
he will
opted to go standard.
So Cindy's gone top again. Pez's first sticky doesn't in fact go top, so he misses the first sticky opportunity. Cindy's first sticky also misses because he expected Pez on top. No
He seems to have
trades.
great speed, but not the best like pre-aim compared to
Yeah,
Cindy.
we've now had a couple of trades now. Faker's gone down, Cadius has gone down. That's Scout on each side. Cindy will go down. This is going to really hurt for Wu. Possibly cost them this middle point, but only if TS really capitalized on it. I believe Pez actually went pretty deep to kill Medic as the Medic there as well. So in this sort of situation, I think it's possible for Primed and Fake to do some sort of play. If that's going to happen, I think they missed the only chance they really had was in the transition period between middle and second in the courtyard area. And now they're going to have to go for some sort of sniper play, maybe spy play, engineer play, although it's kind of late now.
Prime goes down too. I think that was a belated attempt at perhaps sniping the med.
This is going to be a 6v5, 5v6 defense. Uber seems pretty good at the moment, no wasted time, but losing a lot of plays on the side. That's 3 down from Truckstop there. Uber is not going to be effective. Didn't manage to get any kills. They're actually going to get wiped for one player. They killed Paulson and that was it.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
The damage output coming up from Wu was really good on that last point, managing to kill Homer as soon as he landed, and the Uber wore off pretty much straight away. Gotta make an attempt on this mid now with a full Uber. Scout's already on the point. It doesn't even look like Truckstop want to attempt to defend. No, Logix has gone down as well, so that attempt is well and truly over.
They need to be careful sitting in garage too, because we have full Uber advantage.
This is going to be, you know, the more points they can cap without Uber before Brutalix gets their Uber. Truckstrat, my bad, Truckstrat. Cadius is going to go down now, so they're going to have a full Uber going to the second point. This is going to be really important. They've managed to claim about 2 locations without even popping Uber at all now. If they don't capitalize enough off this Uber though, they're going to have a bit of a problem going on last. It's not going to be a problem. Brutalix goes down with about 78% Uber. They can slow push this now if they want, because Colin is still alive. Yeah, and that will be 3-0. What would you say about Truckstrat at the moment in terms of how they're responding to Wu?
I think Wu's just a lot more aggressive, and I think it's working for them.
So we're at halfway now, 0-3. Truckstrat really need to pull out a Truckstrat if it were to come back against Wu at the moment. From what I can see, mids are starting to be a bit more 50-50. I don't think Truckstrat have actually won the mids yet. It's starting to look a bit more 50-50. The first mid really went badly for Truckstrat, but since then they've seemed to have improved in the mids. They really need to look to minimize the kind of losses. Actually, no, they did win a mid, didn't they? They did win a mid. That last mid they won, I think, the one where Pez chased out really far. So they're capable of winning mids. This is good. This means that there's a comeback possibility for them. It's really going to be up to their transitional period, going between mid and second, and then onto that last push as well. I think yeah, that's right. They botched that last push with the Uber. That's something that needs to be looked into.
I think if Pez believes in himself like he did that mid where he absolutely crushed the combo, then they'll also do a lot better. Because he's beating Cindy to mid I'd say most of the mid so far. I think 2 out
I
of
think
3.
their team needs to be a bit more consolidated, possibly on Uber pushes. Pez is now going standard on both rollouts in a row now. No protection though. He's been zoned out already, and this is going to give you a really easy dive for Rain here. Rain opened up a lot of room for Wu to take that midpoint, and now Brutalix is possibly going to get out with his Uber if Homer follows promptly.
He definitely
No, they actually
should.
will be. Oh, he is still not in the clear yet.
He's gonna get
Definitely not in
chased
the
down by
clear.
these scouts too. It's not gonna happen.
Oh man, he actually manages to get the hit. He just needed to pop. But even then, like, say you get the hit and you pop, you still lose Uber. So I'm not too sure it's completely you're completely saved anyway. If Wu don't fail this last Uber push, which is looking pretty good for them at the moment, they're managing to get every single pick that they need. Kadius, the only combat that was alive, he will go down, and it's going to be 4-0 now. I think looking at their positioning coming into mid, Pez didn't really have any protection coming into mid. This sort of mid area where the ramp goes up to the point was completely clear for Wu to move in through, and then Rain takes advantage, jumps straight onto Catwalk, opens up a bit of area for the rest of his team, and that was basically it.
And we'll also seem to be exceptionally good at dealing with Logic's bomb each mid.
Rain managing to get dividends every single mid as well though. He's managing to find someone every single mid and uncontested at that. Pez is down now, that's a demo man advantage going to Wu. They will trade Rain, but Cindy's still alive and he's a pretty big force still at the moment. He's protected by a single
There's
scout.
scout flanking too.
And this 3v3, I think Wu should take it. Wu should take this 3v3. It's now 3v2. They lose the point though. I'm surprised they lose the point. Now it's going to be a bit more difficult to defend the second point. You've got the 4 spawn coming in from Truckstrat. Uber's up for both sides. If Truckstrat go in now, they go in fast and they go in right now. They can make it to mid before before too many players come through.
The control point is being contested.
Logic though, not. I think was that a suicide attempt?
I think it was. He jumped sort of near the medic.
Yeah, I think they should have possibly just pushed that, like, because they had the spawn advantage in terms of their spawn location was so much closer. The rest of Wu had to come all the way from last, and they really shouldn't be giving up this point without a fight. There needs to be an Uber trade.
Shock medic's almost popped on no one.
Yeah, Brutalix is having trouble finding a partner though. They need to minimize losses at this point. Kadius is going to do Soul and Homer to follow. Rain will be traded on the other side. Logic is going to go down also. This is the potential 5-0 here. There won't be, I don't think anything's going to come through from Truckstrat. This will be the 5-0. Thoughts going to the next map?
I think Truck will be a lot stronger on the second map than Granary. I know Homer and I guess the rest of his team share the opinion, although I haven't talked to them about it, like the new maps like Gullywash, Snakewater, and especially Process. They think that the meta, if you will, like hasn't been discovered particularly for them.
I think
I'd
agree with you on Process. I think Gullywash is fairly well sussed out. Not as much as Granary though. I'm going to say that Wu's experience, the experience of their players in particular, you have Primed and Rain who have played at a top Div 1 level. Their experience really shows coming through on a map like Granary. Thousands and thousands of hours played on that map, I can tell you that. So definitely the guys with experience come out on top on old school maps like Granary. So there's a potential for Gullywash to be a much better map for Truckstrat. Yeah, I think as far as meta goes on Gully though, I think it's still, I wouldn't classify it as unknown or new or anything. I think it's known, not possibly as well known as the classic Badlands or Granary, but I think the meta is still quite solid for a map like Gullywash.
I think Wu also won't have the ability to sort of snipe off Logic and then push forward into the rest of the team like they did on Granary really successfully.
That
And
actually
if Pez
comes down
beats
to
Cindy,
that comes down to
mid,
Logic's play. That really comes down to Logic's play, how he decides to approach this mid situation. Whether he's going to go for an early bomb trade, and who he's going to go for actually is really important. Where he's going to land, and how his team responds to that. Because a lot of the times, if you're gonna dive into the other team, there needs to be some response from your team to make that worth it. For that to work, your team needs to. The team cohesion needs to be there where as soon as your roamer goes in, the rest of your team is there to follow. And I think that's the big difference at the moment. When Rain goes in, you see the rest of the Wu there. When Logic goes in, you're not really seeing much response from the rest of Truckstrat. Not in the way that Wu's doing it, rather. And Logic is definitely getting taken down far too quickly. So it's possible that Rain is picking his situations a lot better. Logic is potentially not doing that as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I also think demo speed is obviously really important in this map, and if Pez can beat Cindy to mid like he did on Granary, that will help his team out a
I think
lot.
demo positioning and rather team positioning in general is pretty important for demos on this map. Demos typically roll through, unless you're doing some sort of bottom stretch, demos will typically roll through health pack on the upper area, and as they come through, they're really prone to attacks. They're really prone to getting flanked by scouts and roamers in particular. So, how much a team focuses on protecting their own demo and how much they focus on going for the other demo is going to be pretty important. And obviously, there's a trade-off there. If you're going to go for the other team's demo, you're going to have less protection for your own demo. So, if both teams go for each other's demos, you might see a situation where both demos just get traded. Or if there's a skill difference happening there, then maybe one demo will come out on top and survive a situation, the other one won't. If teams decide not to go for each other's demos, you're going to see a lot more of a passive mid play. Roamers are probably still going to go fairly aggressive, but whether that works or not will depend on how well their team follows up.
I know when I was in Wu, Cindy would just try and get through choke as fast as he could and roll out and just ignore the other demo and just lock their whole team out of big door when he could.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I think demo versus demo, although is pretty important, I think it's slightly overrated. And here we go. Who's this player? Rain. Getting early damage, trying to get early damage into that demo spawn location. He's trapped now, losing a lot of health. Cindy will go down, will prime, and Rain will follow as well. Not a good start for Wu. Definitely not a good start for Wu. Paulson will go down. That is a complete wipe, and Brutalik still alive. Pear's gonna lock down spawn, actually.
The medics also come with him, which is potentially risky.
They know though, Wu have gone the other door, they know exactly about that. Pez actually, where is his positioning right now? He could be in a lot of trouble. If Pez goes down here, he's actually going to be fine. They need to maintain their positioning up there if they want to get a clean Uber through. There was a really well played mid by Truckstrat. Is the game paused for anyone else?
Ah, yeah, it is for me.
Rain's early damage, I saw his first rocket go down in that position where you expect the demo to come out. I didn't actually see where Pez rolled out. Potentially he rolled down through bottom, I think.
He actually rolled out through choke. I don't know if he messed up a jump because I wasn't watching him roll out, or if he was just scared by a bombing roamer.
So he
went
slow.
back into choke, yeah. And then, as his team bombed, he came forward, so it actually ended up working quite well.
Yeah, so his rollout was somewhat delayed, and it actually turned out to be actually worked out for him, because if he rolled out on time, Rain's rocket would have caught him straight away, and he would have been in a bad situation. Well, not even a bad situation, but he would have at least taken a bit of early damage, if not having to fight Rain 1v1 right from the get-go, which gives Cindy a lot of room to move around. And of course, as you said, Cindy doesn't necessarily want to lock down the other team's demo unless it's a real threat. His priority is locking down locking down Truckstrat's entire team in general, not just the demo, which is what I think is actually really important as well. So as soon as Rain sort of went down, he didn't actually die. He just lost a lot of his health and was inactive for the rest of the mid, which is, technically you're pretty much taken out of the mid fight. So, even though you didn't die, you're not really doing anything for your team. That had a lot of impact on that mid as well.
Looks like Cindy's looking to put up forward stickies. Don't know what he's going to do with the other four there.
I think Truckstrat maybe should have taken a bit more of an aggressive position with their medic. I noticed they did climb Spire. I'm not too sure that they potentially really needed to. Pez was pretty deep already, sticking up spawn. To be quite honest, I think if they left a scout to cap, they could have just played that last point with Uber. I know that you can actually get there quickly enough that you know, you can get your combo in there basically as the other team's walking out the doors. That's something that could potentially could have happened. Was a good play by Pez though, and he managed to stay alive. Advantage, definitely still going to Truckstrat though. Their Uber's at 90%. They need to be. They need some sort of forward position. Where the only problem they have right now is they don't really have anyone indoors. And Cindy, as you said, is looking to set up 4 stickies. In fact, he's already got 4 stickies on the main door. Upper's not really being looked at by anyone at the moment. It doesn't appear that way anyway. It's slightly difficult that they don't have any direct opening into this last area at the moment. They did sort of have Pez and Brutalix in that upper area, and I think it would have been very important for them to try and maintain that area. Potentially, they could have even Ubered in into the pursuing combo if there were enough players there. You know, if enough of Wu were coming up that little choke, it would have been actually a really fantastic Uber for Pez. That's like it's kind of like exactly how you want a demo Uber to go. A lot of people clumped up in a narrow space, so.
They can still go Riverside now. I think they'll delay with both their soldiers sitting in mid.
There's going to be difficulty trying to find a way. They top's still open. They can still go upper right now if they want to. This main door is obviously sticking up. It's going to be a bit of an issue. They have to force their way in through perhaps a couple of different positions. That left-hand door going below is still open, and now we're definitely live again. So they're going to go top. I think this is a good position. Cindy's not in an amazing position. Oh, they might actually just fight the Uber here. If Wu aren't careful, Truckstrat could easily fight the Uber here, but Scouts shouldn't be leading.
Homer's actually running gunboats at the moment, so he can't shoot those stickies.
Uber will go in, no casualties just yet. Colin will go down. Fake is going to go down. That's an easy cap for TS. So a good mid leading to, you know, a fairly easy second capture, you know, a very easy second capture rather, and you know, a fairly uncontested last push. This is definitely looking positive for Truckstrat at the moment.
Cindy's botched his rollout too. He's gone lower with the rest of his team.
Yeah, the positioning coming up from Truckstrat is really good. Rain will go down, so will Primed.
We need to just get out right away.
Relatively good trades though. They did manage to get a, you know, Wu did manage to get a few trades on the other side.
Time has been added.
Man, that pause has really messed up my HUD.
Yeah, I was just saying that. I was like,
my tournament HUD is really messed up now. Oh god.
I had like 90% Uber on one team and 13. I'm like, this isn't right.
I'm reloading Scheme, but it's not working. Someone help me.
I think you just have to spam it. Mine's good now.
Oh, we'll just have to make do. First stalemate right now happening. Both teams on Uber.
Interesting to see what Truckstrat do here to push this point.
Well,
Who's holding flank very passively.
Yeah, definitely holding choke very strongly though. Wu definitely want to contain the choke at the moment. The flank is fairly open. The rotation could happen very quickly from either team though. If Truckstrat could potentially fake a choke push and roll their team side if they want to.
Is that Logic bombing in? I believe it is. Or both soldiers bombed in.
That's gonna cost them actually. They're gonna lose mid off this. If we go now, they could very well lose mid off that.
Yeah, they've already backed out of mid.
Yeah, personally not a fan of bombing strats, like as in suicide strats. They're actually gonna contest. There's actually gonna be an Uber.
Oh, they killed the medic too.
Off a stray sticky as well. That wasn't a mistake by anyone else. That was just Colin dropping.
Heavy's going down for Truckstrat though.
You're getting dominated, Chucklehead.
We'll lose this point, but they'll have Uber advantage for last.
I'm gonna
Or maybe not even lose it too. Paulson instantly taking down Cadius. And Sol.
What I will do is quickly reconnect to this game, and hopefully that fixes everything for me. So, just as I do that, what's happening in the game?
Missing
at the moment?
is we're retaking mid, and whilst my HUD is also screwed up, they have Uber advantage as well. So they should push around into second, surely. Sinu's
go.
actually holding flank. Big bombs from Paulson and Wu pops.
Prolix needs to hold on to this Uber though. They really need to hold on to it. Didn't even manage to get it. They possibly should have just fallen out there. I think the timing from Wu was really good, but Truckstrat kind of just took the brunt of that, and don't really have enough plays to defend last now, unless Wu don't immediately push. And it doesn't look like Wu are going to immediately push, but they still have logic. They still have that one player advantage. Mind you, Cadius has also gone sniper, so this is actually a very good time to push. All they have to deal with is a heavy, and that's that's basically the push. So you've got
I think
one
Wu's
down.
decided they have Uber advantage, so they're just going to use it.
If they wanted to push though, the sniper would have been not very useful in that fight at all. So it would have essentially been a 6v4 situation. They're going to take the Uber in from the bottom. All players coming through now. No stickies popped just yet. Who are they going to look for to start with? I think targets are a little bit off. Logic, His, and Brudlix is going to go down, followed by Cadius, and Sol will follow up to that, and it's going to be 1-1. It's a little slow to start with in terms of kills going into that last Uber. Not too sure who players were focusing. I saw a couple of players focusing different people, so yeah, I was a bit worried that people that actually Truckstrat weren't going to die very easily on that last point, but managed to take it anyway. Going to this next mid now. Really deep dive here from I believe that's Logic actually.
Both soldiers down for Truckstrat's not looking good.
Cadius will make a
picking up
trade.
Ryan. He must have had a damage call on that pick. It's very aggressive.
It's going to be a pretty. Wu should be able to get inside. Wu should be able to get indoors fairly easily there.
That was actually the medic going down. I didn't catch that.
Oh yeah, Brutal somehow got down there. Well, this is going to be, an almost uncontested last, because there's now absolutely no chance for Uber. Sol is still down. Logic's down again. I think Logic is somehow managing to find himself in that respawn zone a lot. He's definitely spending a lot of time respawning, and not a lot of time in the actual game. I'm really surprised that Wu aren't really taking advantage of the picks in
I
terms
think
of
they wanted their fat man to come along.
like they could have probably pushed and there. Now it's gonna be 5v6 situation. Actually, we only have 4 left. It's completely even at the moment. They managed to get another pick, 2 extra picks.
It's good cap time
on top
though.
of Ubers.
I'd like to see the delayed aggression again from Truckstrat. That worked really well in the first round.
If Pez decides to roll out slightly slower because reasons, Colin is down already to Logic. Logic finally finding the pick that he perhaps wanted. Wu still have complete control on this midpoint though, so you know, it really goes to show medic pick doesn't really make everything, especially if you lose too many combats yourself. Combats really do make the difference in especially higher divisions, so although Logic he does get himself a medic, the rest of his team, you know, he manages to lose himself. Homer goes down as well. They just don't have the pushing power even if they have the medic on their side.
So, like they're looking to go through big door. Be interesting to see if Truckstrat back out without trying to pop the medic.
Colin's running crits at the moment as well, so if Truckstrat go into this next push and don't lose their Uber, they should claim it pretty easily. Otherwise, you know, if they don't see the crits coming, I mean they won't see the crits coming because they don't know about it. But if the crits catches them off guard, that's their push over.
Truckstrat's actually waiting on a sniper pick at big door.
Their style of playing is really. Then I don't think they're really fully taking advantage of respawn times and, you know, play deaths and stuff like that. They seem to be wanting to make picks quite a bit. It can work. It's very slow. It could possibly work, and they also do a lot of stuff where it looks like they dive players. They want to make the bombs. They want to make, you know, the big trades with their players. I don't know. Maybe they think they don't actually have the Uber advantage.
Looks like Wu's getting restless here, and they're looking to pop his crits.
That could be a mistake. I think Wu are the ones that should. Is that another
Another
pause?
second pause, yeah.
I think Wu are the ones that should actually be a bit more patient here. The crits won't really be that good because the way that Truckstrat have positioned themselves, they're away enough that they can easily hide behind the wall if the crits does come out, if they see it quickly enough. The range is also a bit of an issue. It basically means that Cindy has one sticky to make or break it. If he misses that one sticky, it's kind of over. What would be really good for Wu is if Truckstrat decide they want to push this area, if they want to push this flank, and they can see that, and if Wu see that, then they pop the crits. It's going to be a really magical crits, assuming that Brutalix doesn't manage to get his Uber off in time. But it's always a very difficult situation when you're running crits against Uber and you're waiting for them to push. With crits, you kind of want to be the ones making the decisions. You want to be the ones controlling the game. It's a lot more different when you're the one making the push instead of defending. If Wu were in Truckstrat's position now and they had crits, this would be, you know, not a very difficult situation for them to play. It'd be kind of awkward knowing they go into Uber, but at least they're the ones making the calls. But if they're defending right now, they're waiting for the Uber to come through. If they wait for the Uber to come through, then they have to deal with an Uber and their crits won't be effective. But it's also very hard for them to crits right now. So defending with crits is definitely quite tedious.
On top of that, if they wait, sooner or later, Cadius is going to get a pick. Truckstrat will be quite content just sitting there until it happens.
To be honest, if all they do is not peek, what I would do on Wu right now is I'd let them push. You have, especially because you're running crits, you know you're running crits, they don't. And if they push, then you can get the crits through. And obviously Truckstrat, they want to get a pick. They're looking to get a pick with the sniper. If you hide your players, don't pressure this flank and let Truckstrat push. They're going to think, hey, you know, there's no spam coming through, we're going to just move forward. And then that'll be exactly what you want to do with the crits. When their team moves forward and they're in this little choke area, that's a perfect crits. And you don't have to just rely on one sticky either. You're in full damage range, you don't have to have a charged up sticky. That's basically what we really want to do. So, you know, if they assess the situation, they can see that maybe it's just a good idea to let Truckstrat push. That's really the most feasible way to play the crits at the moment, because if they pop it now, it's kind of too far away, but If they wait too long, then they have to deal with an Uber. So
It looks like Cindy's posturing up to shoot that one dream crit sticky. Run
it's
into
a
all
big
their
risk.
players.
Though. It's a big risk though. If they want to
Absolutely.
take the risk, it's there. But it's just a what if scenario. I mean, the dice are not in their favor in this one. It has to be the perfect crit, perfect sticky, and also Truckstrat just have to be completely positioned correctly for it to happen as well. Because their medic is playing in a position where it'll be difficult. Brutalix is definitely behind a wall, so the sticky's going to have to travel quite far and also be close enough to the medic.
Oh, it's absolutely, as you said, one sticky, if that. Like, one sticky might not even do it. It might do some stupid amount of damage. It doesn't kill the medic.
Yeah, if it doesn't kill the medic, they're in trouble because then they have to deal with an Uber. Yeah. The knowledge is on their side though. They know the situation, and Truckstrat don't because they don't see the Uber coming. They don't see the crits coming. I wonder what the delay is, because if the delay is short enough, we might be paused long enough that oh here we go. That actually.
Well, there's the
Oh,
crits.
there's the dream crits.
And it misses.
And the dream is gone. The dream is over, and this is now gonna be tough for Wu.
We're doing an exceptional job of locking them out there. They've almost nullified the
Actually,
entire Uber.
It did.
In fact, they have.
actually. There's no flank coming through. Pez's flank is coming through now. Manages to take Rain, but you're absolutely right. They nullified the entire Uber, and I'll tell you what happened there. Actually, they nullified it through the fact that they pushed with a soldier, not a demo. They didn't push with Pez. That's a big issue. Not pushing with Pez in that situation meant that their entire Uber just failed. And also not pushing with enough players as well. They did a solo Uber. I think they should have done a multi-Uber. Then there should have been a flank. That lower entrance, I don't actually know what it's called, but that lower entrance going underneath with that door, somebody should have flanked through that. They could have taken the whole Uber through that if they wanted to. A lot of options open. So yeah, just didn't play the Uber well. They should have played the Uber well, and that was kind of a perfect situation for them.
Alert. The control point is being captured.
Okay, so it looks like Wu's got crits out again. HUD once again broken.
Yep. Neither medic died, and Colin didn't.
Well,
didn't
Cindy
respawn.
actually timed out during that, and he's down.
If
That
Colin-
already went AFK.
Colin could have actually, if he wanted to, he can actually respawn and reset that to a regular Uber, and a good way. That's actually a good way to tricking your opponent because they don't believe that you swapped out, but you have.
I think our Truckstrat would have had that regardless of Cindy, whatever that was there. He seems to be fine now though.
It's a very even map though. We're on 2 for 2.
Cindy opting to go big door this mid.
Early sticky.
Actually managed to
catches
lock the
Pez
demo
straight
out of
away.
mid.
Early sticky. First sticky catches Pez straight away. Pez is gonna not have a fun time this mid at the moment. Early trade's gonna come through. Homer's gonna go down. Logic is down now as well. 3 down on Wu's side though. Two left for Wu. Primed and fake. 2 scouts alive. Primed still in the mid. He will go down as well.
Time has been added.
Truckstrat winning themselves another mid fight.
The control point is being captured.
This is
Rain's coming in here.
Time has been added.
yeah, we definitely need to look to do something about the impeding Uber of Truckstrat that will come through. Although, we have seen that Truckstrat, even with Uber, they have managed to botch it before. They have managed to fail in Uber before. Logic is pretty deep at the moment. Not with his team. The Uber has been popped. Not where you would preferably like to see the Uber. Now the Pyro is just going to completely block them out the door. Colin goes down. This is an important pick because Brutalix is still alive. I think we're at the stage now where they're actually looking to counter push, and if that's the case, I think Truckstrat need to hold the ground. They need to hold the ground with the knowledge that their damage sticks. There's no medic. There wasn't any medic, for Wu at that stage. They're giving up a lot of free ground that they really shouldn't be. The threat of Uber is really strong, and they let their team give up a lot of ground when they shouldn't have. They had the ground. Wu didn't have the medic. They shouldn't really have been able to push, and if they did, it was really up to Truckstrat to counter push and really punish them for it. Now they should get a really clean Uber coming from this left side. No stickies. A little bit early for my liking, but they managed to get the Uber through regardless. Haven't made any trades
Cinderella
yet.
picking up a scout.
They haven't managed to make any trades.
Is being captured.
Yeah, we're seeing a real difference in Uber skill right now because, I mean, when we see Wu do an Uber push, even when they're targeting different players, and it looks like they're not going to kill anyone, but they do, they manage to get the kills. Right then we saw Truckstrat go through full Uber against no Uber, and didn't manage to make any trades. In fact, their entire Uber really didn't amount to anything.
Not sure they even got a single frag.
No, definitely didn't even get a single frag. Another Uber from Wu will come out. In fact, I don't think Colin even really got forced. He didn't really take that much damage either. I think they could have chosen not to Uber if they didn't want to. And Brutalix is now up for Uber, so counter push is available.
It's going to be awkward here because they're missing logic and they have a sniper.
It's really awkward. It's you know it is very awkward. I don't know why they have a sniper in this situation. When you want to Uber push, having a sniper is definitely not what you want, and they're in the kind of position now where they're going to get forced. Actually, they shouldn't pop Uber here, but I feel like they're going to get forced. Ideally, they should not pop Uber here,
There it is.
and that's actually exactly what we want. But they've lost too many. They've actually managed to lose two, so. You know, the perfect fallout they were looking for, they missed it because Cindy's down now, Rain's down now, two heavy players down. This is going to be an easy second cap for Truckstrat. They should take this without any issues, but where actually are they going to go? Falling back.
Our control point is being captured.
Right, Colin does have Uber. I could have had some sort of presence on second, I believe, though. Even with the fact that Colin had Uber, it's a good way to force the Uber out. Now they kind of have to deal with the Uber on mid. The Ubers come through. If they hold their ground, Brutalix can get this Uber and they can counter. They need to counter right now and save pairs. Man, they gotta save pairs.
The control point is being contested.
Oh, very good trades coming through though. 3 for 2 trade,
The control point is being contested.
and another one to follow. Paulson taking out Homer on that cap point.
Oh no, it's
And
not going to kill the medic on 10, is it?
Brutalix gets taken down. Still though, a victory on point for TS.
KS is actually up to say sniper after dying.
Yeah, I maybe he thinks it's working for him. I don't personally think it's working for him. He hasn't actually managed to get any picks yet. Does get a headshot, but still no picks. And that's really important. If you're going to run a sniper, the picks have to be there.
He's going to die
Otherwise,
once again.
you're really a man down at this stage. And this is an easy pick for Wu.
Time has been added.
I've actually got logic trying to make a play here. Right against the door. I just decided to back off.
As I've said earlier, though, Logic making plays, he's really got to be careful about what his team actually does with the play. Too many times he's made a play where he's simply just died and his team didn't manage to capitalize off it. So that's something that TS, in terms of cohesion, it's certainly lacking. You can see it in the plays that it's just really lacking. However, it is 2-2 at the moment. They do seem to be doing much better on this map than Gunnery.
Looks like Truck finally deciding to just bust through the flank here. In
Gonna
fact, it's
take
just a
this fight.
single bomb again.
Yeah, once more they like to go for these bomb strats, and it's not completely working. I think I've seen one. I recall one time when Logic managed to get a pick. That was that mid. He manages to kill Colin, but they still lose the mid because they lose both their soldiers. So, yeah, not completely worth it. There could be an uber fight happening here, depending on which team pops first.
I think
The game
Logic's
of
being
chicken.
caught out again. But Cindy doesn't know and he goes down. Oh. That was terrible.
That was actually quite poor from Wu, that they didn't realize that they should push through with Cindy down. Even though they're down 2, I think the demo advantage should be fairly considerable. Where is Pez? Where is Pez right now? They need to be using him. Yeah, as you can see, when you're down an extra player, but the enemy is down their demo, that one demo advantage is pretty considerable. And actually now they've got a 2-player advantage. Going to the last point, they should manage to just walk through there. If they don't get caught by the sticky trap, they should manage to walk through. Oh, Pez not opting to go with his team. That's a bit of a mistake. Homer diving in fairly deep to start with. Katie's gonna manage to go down. They do take the point though.
Play ball.
Thoughts going into the next half of the game?
I think the truck's looking really good. I think they might actually do it. Like, every mid-fight they're proving a lot more aggressive than they were on Granary. And it's not like these single aggressions from players who get picked off. They're playing a lot more closely together on this map.
Which is what you should really look for in general, I think, for as far as how your team goes in terms of cohesion. There are definitely a lot of situations, most of the situations I would say, where you definitely want to be play together. And that goes back to what I was saying before with Logic kind of doing his own thing a little bit off the side. He manages to go for those flanks, but his team doesn't really follow up, or he's doing it at a time where it's difficult for his team to follow up, and that really affects the outcome of what their team really can achieve during those moments.
I would like to see Cindy going back to choke like he did earlier there. He's been opting to go big door recently. I just don't think it's quite as good. He did manage to lock out the demo one mid, but then the demo came back in after the health pack spawned.
Pez is really getting I wouldn't say locked down completely, but he's been caught out a couple of times coming through choke now. The one time I recall that was really good for him was when he actually botched a rollout, I think you said, and he came out slower in choke. And it worked out pretty well for him, whether they realised it or not.
Yeah, that worked out the first rollout. I think it was the most recent rollout. Cindy went big door and actually managed to lock him out. But then he just came in late with a health pack. And it was a similar story as the first mid.
I do notice they're still losing, Cadius and Logic in particular, the ones that are losing their lives fairly early in most situations. And if you notice the other way around, Rain, although he looks like he's doing something similar to what Logic is doing, he doesn't seem to die as often. I don't seem to see Rain go down quite as often as Logic is going down. He's definitely managing to keep himself alive a lot more consistently. So I might actually watch Cindy on this rollout and see what he does.
Play ball. Thanks, Doc.
He will go choke. He's going to go first sticky big door. Guesses correctly, enemy combo does come through there. One of the soldiers has taken already quite a bit of damage. Cadius will manage to get a kill here. Logic goes down, Cadius goes down. So again, the same two players going down very quickly. Wu still not having a good time on this mid. It does look like TS will be the ones coming out on top. Paulson and Cindy still alive. Cindy on very low health though.
They'd
Goes
even
for the big
players towards the end of that mid, but Truckstrat just took position, got aggressive and won it.
Yeah, the positioning was definitely key for Truckstrat during that push. Paulson goes down as well. I believe Wu will make some. They've had 2 attempts at plays now. Unsuccessful on both to try and do anything with that medic. Cindy still not up to do this forward hold, so there won't be a forward hold for Wu, and I actually think perhaps Truckstrat he wasn't up. There is an sniper now on Wu's side as well as a part. Uber is going to come through and getting caught straight by the wow. There we go. Cadius goes down to the sniper. A lot of picks coming through from TS this time around. They're a very different push than the Uber pushes that we've seen from TS so far. We've seen them botch a lot of Uber pushes, well 2 actually, but this time around, man, they get the push and it was very solid. Very good picks.
I think Fake's off class from Sniper rather than Pyro perhaps was a mistake, even though he got a pick. He's been really successful previous last holds, like just pushing the combo back as they come in on Uber.
TS's positioning looking pretty good at the moment. Pez is going to get caught out on the side, as will Sol, and now Homer, I believe, is taking a bunch of damage as well. He's going to get taken down, so TS is not a great mid. Where actually did the medic go? The medic had disappeared quite early. I think he disappeared quite early from the mid. Pez did get caught out fairly early. His team went forward pretty quickly. His team went forward towards the point, but Pez was just kind of fell slightly behind. I think Rain actually took him down. I can't remember.
Time has been added.
It's like they're pushing from Riverside and Truckstrat know about it.
They are running a sniper. I'm not completely convinced that sniper's too great for defending this last point. I think engineer actually works pretty well. Heavy works decently. Pyro is very good. Sniper is a little bit average on this one. I think sniper works very well on the big points, on last points which have a lot of area like granary. There will be a dive though from someone who's about to die very quickly. Or not very quickly actually. Rain, he's somehow always manages to not die. At least not at the speed that he should be dying. I believe if it was any other roamer in that situation, they would have died very quickly. But for some reason, Rain managed to stay alive for much longer than I thought.
Not at the speed and logic, anyway.
If Homer gets caught out here, I don't believe they know that there's actually stickies on the other side of that wall. Oh yeah, there we go. Homer does get caught out,
Alright, I feel good. Yeah, thanks, Doc.
and he had the medic too.
It's interesting Wu chose not to push. I guess that's why, the sniper.
Well, Rain just proves himself to be just a very good TF2 player in general. Switches to sniper,
The control point is being
and immediately he gets 2 picks. Wu really just wiped that point fairly quickly. They caught out Homer. Rain then gets himself 2 picks. It was just really clean by Wu.
So
Really
it's
clean
4-3
play.
at the moment to Truckstrat. Cindy opting to go choke.
He will be met with a little bit of resistance though. Paulson's looking for a bit of trouble. Sorry, that was actually Rain who went down over there. Not a completely cohesive mid from Wu this time around. They're definitely struggling a lot more with the mids here than they are Granary. You can see the experience come through on Granary, but on this map it's definitely a lot more even on the mids.
control point is being
In fact, I would say that Truckstrat have actually won more mids.
has been added.
Both medics alive for this push. Sol will switch to Pyro. On the push actually, he's gonna go Pyro on the push.
Thanks, Doc.
Looks like he might have just been getting a forward spawn or something. He's gone back.
Well, Cadius
To scout.
has gone sniper, so I don't believe he's actually. Yeah, he actually is sniping. Oh, and doesn't manage to get his shot in that heavy. He's not going to get another chance like that. Sniping on last is actually not too bad. Offensively, sniping is actually fairly good. The problem with Rain going sniper is that even if you do kill Cadius, he respawns and he keeps going again. So you end up in a sort of a stalemate that doesn't really end if you have two snipers going at each other.
And there goes Truckstrat sniper.
He'll
We
come
might
back though.
see Wu
I don't
aggressively
think
pushing out here.
I don't think Truckstrat are gonna do this push unless the sniper gets something. So you will just see this endless stalemate. Eventually, I believe one of the teams will get it too impatient and do something.
I think with that
too
pick,
aggressive.
single out into lobby, it's quite a nice play.
I believe if they wanted to make the push there, you know, potentially they need to swap Rain out to a soldier and attempt to push. It's always very difficult pushing on the last. You know, you're obviously risking the last point. Cadis is going to go spy this time around. Something a little different from Sniper. I think he'll look.
Is he just going to uncloak on the point? Surely not.
No, that'll be a bad idea. Don't go for the sniper. Do not go for the sniper. Kill the medic. I think they see him. That's way too obvious. How did they not? How
That's
did he get away
unbelievable.
with that?
Straight in front of the heavy too.
That was way too obvious. I was looking at it from his position. I was like, no, he's gonna get caught out. He's gonna get caught out.
The control point is being contested.
That will be your 5. Oh,
Pez
no, there it
cleans
is.
absolutely everything else up.
There's your map. Wow, I mean, from all the good plays I've seen Wu do in this map, and especially last map, but even what they did this map, that wasn't the one. I didn't think that was going to be, you know, I didn't expect that to happen. I would have thought they would have seen the spy come through. It looked fairly obvious to me.
Particularly after a sniper death.
Yeah, I mean, after a sniper death, and then he just walks through the entire team. Though the way the medic was positioned it was actually quite hard to get the medic. He walks directly in front of this heavy, and then and just approaches the medic and gets the kill. But that is your map.
I can't say like I'm particularly surprised with the score. It's just a shame there's not a third map because it's not the finals, and I don't think these two teams will meet again. Because one's third and one's fourth, so I guess maybe it'll be the third and fourth.
I think this is definitely a big difference in terms of cohesion with the teams. Like, what I'm seeing coming out of Wu is a lot more decisive, generally a lot cleaner and a lot more cohesive than what's coming out from Truckstrat at the moment. They do manage to get the key plays every now and then. Every now and then, Truckstrat pull out a bit of magic, and it's enough that Wu crumbles under that. But you definitely see on a map where Wu have a lot more experience, like Granary, and I believe Badlands would probably be the same story. You know, the experience comes through, and the team cohesion really pushes through. And you know, even with Truckstrat occasionally pulling out some brilliance, it just wasn't quite enough. Not for Granary anyway.
Alright, I'm just pulling in a bit of truck into the mumble. And maybe we can get a bit of Wu, because it was a tie game, so no one lost.
So I guess if Wu lose to supervillains, then these two teams will meet again, am I right? I guess we'll have to ask the players when they come in.
Yeah, they'll probably know.
Thought Pez was really impressive that game. He's a standout player for me.
Yeah, Pez did a lot of good things that game, for sure.
And here we have some of truck. Oh, wrong channel. Here we have some of truck coming in. Hello, Homer.
What's up, dudes?
Hello, Homer.
It's a really impressive game.
Yeah.
If you're ranked 4th after this match, right?
Yeah.
So will you guys meet Wu again if they lose to supervillains? Is that how it works?
No, well, we're going to beat IM in the semis.
Oh,
And then take
Yeah.
it to the grand final, most likely.
Yeah.
We were already 4th before this as well.
Yeah, I looked at the rankings before the cast.
Yeah, we're going for those shiny medals on the front page.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Video games?
Video games were played.
What
Thanks
do
for
you guys
casting,
think of
guys.
the professional spy player in KDS?
You know, he walked in front of a head.
Yeah,
It was very,
Yeah.
very
It's a
surprising.
pretty
Who
good
was the
spy.
heavy? Who was the heavy?
Primed.
Yeah,
I
trust.
don't know. I
He's
don't know
no
how
New
You'd be
South
able to see
Wales.
through those walls and see it, but yeah.
Oh, Josh. I mean, Pez, what do you think of that game?
That was quite good, Brendan.
Did you think our pocket played well?
As
He
usual,
was
Anchor.
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah.
average game.
As
I
usual,
know,
I
it's
carry
pretty
the.
off-putting to be BM'd and listen to the stream while playing.
Oh,
Yeah.
the stream is at a 90. Well, we don't delay because we're casting from STVs, so some of those pauses were exceptionally long, and
Yeah, I can see. I actually said at one point in the stream, is like, if this goes on any longer and they're actually listening to the stream, they might actually just pick up on what's actually happening.
I was stream shooting the whole time.
Dirty.
I actually played the game at a 9-second delay as well, so that seemed to help.
Yeah.
So you guys, obviously big difference going into both maps. We put it up to mostly experience on the part of Wu, compared to you guys, relatively newer to the higher levels. What would you say? Would you say that's true, or would you say it's a bit of a different reason that you guys pulled it out quite well on the second map?
Yeah, we usually verse MGS, so it's just fucking easy because they're shit, but we were a bit harder.
Well, I'll give you a real answer. On Gran, it's just like Cindy and Rain and shit who play so much, and they can dominate that mid so easily. Like, it's just really hard to do anything. But on Gully, it's just a bit more open and like. I don't
We're
know.
actually talking about that because we were trying to pick maps where rain doesn't have an impact on mid.
Yeah.
Because he just rapes Pez on any mid. And
Yeah,
you can't
because
do anything.
on Gully I can actually do damage at mid, but on Gran I just get locked out as soon as I get there, like wherever I go. But on Granary I just started doing damage at mid, so we started winning.
Gully.
And if we can get past the mid, we usually do decently.
So on Gully Wash, there was obviously that crits versus Uber situation. What were you guys thinking? Because you wouldn't have known that they had gone crits.
I didn't know,
From
but
my point
we
of
all
view,
got out for some
like,
reason.
he wasn't going to be able to hit
Cindy
me with a
check.
crit sticky. Like, doesn't matter where. Like, we would have seen the crits, is what I'm trying to say, where I was standing. So, I guess Cadius might have died to the crits, but that was about the worst that could have happened.
Yeah, it kind of surprised us, but they did it like when we weren't even in range. So the first sticky missed, and then we just knew. So it was just really easy after that. When if they crits and you have Uber, it's just a free
There
win.
was a situation though when you re-Ubered and Cindy did manage to lock your team out fairly well with the crits, and the Uber you didn't make as much ground, I think, as you would have liked to have made.
That was when Homer got
with
bounced a fuckload. I think
Yeah.
that was a big door.
Yeah, I watched the stream there and I just saw Homer jump and I was like, fucking bailed.
There wasn't much we could have done, because like, we would have never caught the med either way, and Homer just gets bounced forever, so it's just a trade, I guess. It's kind of shitty for us because they have crits, but I think we ended up getting the point anyway.
Yeah, you did, I think.
Yeah.
Do you often going up against Wu, you probably thought rain is probably a bigger issue. Do you go up against certain teams and prepare, I don't know, strats if it were, or plans if it were, against certain players like that?
Yeah,
We
like
never-
against
we never
MGS
actually
specifically, like we have to take care of Campbell because he's a huge damage dealer and
Yeah.
he really wrecks our team.
He's been getting the better of Homer in the past few scrims, so had to have a quick chat about that.
No, we don't prepare strats, really.
No,
We
we
just
never
keep it in
fucking
mind.
play this video game, let alone prepare
Yeah,
strat.
this is our third game back from a 3-week break.
Tricked TF2, just fucking shit talk a lot, and you'll beat everyone. That's the trick.
Scrimmed it and yeah.
Alright, Avril, do you have any more questions for her?
Would you have put Granary? I know you guys definitely did a lot better on Gully Wash. Would you say Granary was mainly the fact that rain was quite hard to deal with, or what were the problems that you guys had with Granary?
Yeah, I think every mid. I think we lost every mid, and the only mid we won, we like messed up an uber push at the end. So, I think like 3 or 4 of the rounds were lost purely at mid.
I agree. Like we can go like toe to toe with Wu if I don't die on mid. Like phase play, we can go toe to toe with them, but mids we just get raped.
So definitely a bit of an issue. As you said, it was rain was a big problem on mids. So going in future, would you say you might avoid maps like Granary against teams where you know that you'll have a lot of problems against them in the mids?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's pretty much Wu specific.
It's kind of just like rain, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
even
like a
on like
special case.
he does it on like a lot of maps like Badlands. He does a lot of work on mids as well, unless we counter jump him.
So are you stronger on maps like Gully Wash and Process against other teams compared to Granary, like teams like 6 Up or Supervillains?
Yeah, I guess. I think our mids are in general not the best.
Yeah.
I think Process is our strongest map because I think that mid it's sort of like more balanced. I guess like one player can't
Even
do so
that
much.
though, like Rain does a lot of work on that map.
Yeah.
It's kind of just him. Like it doesn't really matter what the map is. He'll do like a lot of work. To be honest.
I think the way I used to deal with rain on maps was we just kind of ignored rain if we could, because he's gonna find some way of getting to you regardless. And if you find some way of dealing with him on on one rollout, the next rollout he does something weird and he comes through from a different position. What usually worked was if you kill the rest of Rain's team and then Rain's still alive doing something, he's kind of
like
not that
what
useful.
like happens is like on I don't think any of the mids Rain actually killed, but he'll like pressure Pez out, and especially on like Process or map like that, he just pressures Pez out and then Cindy just holds W. And that's like the normal way that it goes.
What I saw particularly on Granary was that if Pez was in any sort of open position, Rain's quite good at taking those kind of opportunities where he can see that Pez is alone, or he can see that other people are occupied somehow, and yeah, he picks really good times to go for the picks, especially on demo.
Maybe if our soul just killed him, it wouldn't be so hard.
Yeah, but well, what do you expect for 10,000 hours on a video game, I guess?
And that haircut.
The fucking Pez's first season.
Any other thoughts? Time that you thought that you saw in that game, either match, either map.
Refresh your doom.
Absolutely. No, I
Wait,
thought,
is this the band time?
this is the band time.
Ooh.
This is all Kenneth could get up today. But no,
I have one thing to note about the stream. I noticed it was on rain majority of the time.
You know,
There was a lot of rain.
there was a lot of rain. I'll tell you the reason. Because Rain was doing stuff. I have a button that queries the server directly, and I
Obviously
press
not on
it.
Gully Wash.
I press it, and it switches to the player who's about to go big. So,
So it obviously didn't
yeah.
go to home a lot.
It went there once or twice.
Yeah, that was half his kills.
Yeah.
That's all you need, mate.
Actually, just what I've currently thought up of. What is do you guys quite enjoy running sniper on Gully Wash? Because I noticed you switched Cadius to sniper quite a bit on Gully Wash.
He just snipes like pretty much all the time. Cause
Yeah, he doesn't fucking miss. Like he's got this really good aimbot, and he just
He's a bit of a hacker.
I don't know, he's just like a way better sniper than he is scout, and he's just like. When you have a really good sniper, it just completely changes the way the other team has to play the game. And if they can't react, you get a pick and you get the point and you get the round. So
it definitely is a slower way of playing the games, because once you run a sniper, it also changes the way that you have to play the game. I notice.
Well, that's one of the things. I don't think we can really out DM Wood. Like I think if it was just a DM fest, they'd win. So it kind of helps to slow it down.
Colin drops every now and then. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed one occasion you had a player ad, you had a sniper and Uber ad, and you decided not to push because of it, I think. Or maybe you pushed eventually, but you got popped as you came through Big Door.
Yeah, we also
I
because
remember
we
that.
did because the time before that, like we got in for free. Like I don't know, we just didn't eat so much spam the time before, so I was able to walk up for free. The second time we killed Cindy though with Uber, so I guess it's not all bad.
Yeah,
But it's
like,
kind of
Sniper
hard
has-
to like get a good Uber. Like even if we had a scout, it's really hard to get a good Uber onto mid from second.
Yeah, that is a difficult situation to play. Were there any particular players that you were focusing in that game? Either Rain or Cindy or anyone else?
Pretty much Cindy, I'd say. Like the other players, I mean, Rain is kind of disposable. You don't really like aim him; you sort of play around him. But like killing Cindy is really massive. I mean, he's a demo, and he's probably like one of our better players. So
All right, and so time we'll defer to time for any extra questions, and then we'll probably wrap it up with some shoutouts. Time, anything else?
I've got no questions.
Time has no questions. Avril, have you exhausted all your
Yeah,
question bank yet?
I think that's about it.
All right, so we'll start at the top of Truckstrat with the name starting with B, Brutalix. Any shoutouts?
Shout out to the Meat Shot God, Griever. Shout out to Meat Shot City. Shout out to CMS, because they're just the best team in the world.
Pick up Graver or Trucker
Yeah,
Bro.
I'm not sure if I shouted out
Yeah, you
Griever.
guys
Once
wanna
again,
do
shout
one
out
to do demo?
to Griever, because he's amazing. Oh yes, Choco Bro, you've won 2 demo. He's pretty fucking good as well. Shout out to Anime Connoisseur, because he's just a boss. And yeah, that's about it.
And Homer, go ahead.
shout out to Salami Pirates and shout out to all the truck.
Aw, thanks, Babs.
Logic, kick it off. Earth to
Shout
Logic.
out to Igor.
The Eagle's a bit of a boss.
Shout out to Wu for coming to this interview. Nice to talk to you guys. Shout out to MGS for providing us some nice warm-up scrims.
Easy warm-up scrim.
Yeah, that's about it.
Very easy.
Shout out to Faithless.
That guy's a massive nerd.
And Sol, who couldn't be here right now because he is currently fighting deportation issues.
Alright, and Pez.
Sure.
Shout out to Big Scotty Hardy. Shout out to J Blades, Davey, and all the Truckstrat.
Alright, casters, go ahead, Avril. Some shoutouts.
Kenneth and Time, thanks for inviting me. Had fun.
Time?
Shout out to you for letting me cast, even though I'm a band player, / having no one else to cast with. Shout out to Avril for carrying me, and shout out to Sakura.
I just want to add one last thing. Kenneth, I've been talking in your stream chat for like a week now and you've not once responded.
You know, I have one button which
see you look at the stream
activates.
chat.
Yeah, no. Hold on. Let me explain. I have one button, and I press that button, and it activates my mumble talk and my my stream talk. So if I was going to talk to you, I'd be talking to everyone else. Which
I'm
brings
sure they'd want to hear.
Which brings me to my shoutouts. Thanks guys for coming for the interview. All of Truck minus Soul. Best of luck on immigration. I don't know the in joke, so I'm quite I have no clue what I just said.
Yeah, he's a bit.
He's
a
come
foreign.
for a happy ending.
Massage pal.
Shout out to both the teams that played tonight, Woo as well. Thanks to both Avril and Time for coming in here. Shout out to Brutalix for hanging out in my stream. I'm sure I'll stop anchoring my team someday. And with that, we'll sign off. See you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Shout out, of course, to all the viewers who tuned in. Hopefully next time we'll have a bit of a cast for TF Live. Just did this one on my personal channel, was a bit last minute, but hopefully we'll be gearing up for finals round very shortly. Sorry I haven't been able to cast as much. I've kind of been playing, and there's like no one else who can stream. So, cheers, and we're out.
Gee.
MGS suck, dick.